unpopular demand, I bring you part 2 of UK-sponsored employers, the hidden truths and conversations. Now, this particular conversation, I agree 100%. And the conversation is, how did some carers employed from abroad pass their IELTS, their English proficiency test? How did they pass it? Because I know in that test you have the reading, the writing, and the listening. And one more, how did they pass? I've had the opportunity of meeting some people and we're talking, and when they tell me, oh, they are here on a tier 2 visa, I'm like, how did you pass? Now, let me tell you a story. Ho, ho, ho. My name is Kesienaakwaraatie, a health and social care trainer. Welcome to my channel, Being a Carer with Cares. And a Merry Christmas to all of you, my returning subscribers, my mentees, members of my platform. You guys are so loved. And I hope you have a joyous Christmas celebration. But remember, don't forget the reason for the season, all right? Ho, ho, ho. If you're just watching me for the first time or you came upon my channel per chance, hello there. Welcome to my channel. Now, on this channel, I talk about everything care, how you can distinguish yourself as a carer, a senior carer, a support worker, or healthcare assistant. Okay, and you will do well to join this ever-growing awesome family. How do you do that? You smash the subscribe button, and guess what? It is absolutely free. You give me a thumbs up by liking the video, and don't forget to click on that all important notification bell, so whenever I upload a new video, you will be among the very first to know. And of course, freely as well, connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Carebackers, and I'll see you there. All right. So let me tell you this story. No, I don't like to dilly-dally. They just get straight to it. I'm in the Christmas mood. Ha ha. All right. So let's get straight to the story. Now, I had this colleague of mine coming to our training session. I've had quite a number of them coming to training sessions, and they give me different stories. But this particular story, it was the cherry on the cake, or should I say the cherry on the icing. Okay, now, so my colleague was in this supported living home where they had people with learning disabilities. Some of them were verbal, some were not verbal. Okay, and then they brought these people in. They could not have a decent conversation with the service users. Now, I am not saying be an orator, no, but at least be able to converse, to discuss, because these are the people that brought you into the country. It was the need for them to have people to care for them that made their employers go abroad to get carers. So if you have been brought into this country to look after them, and you cannot discuss simple, sentences with them, then there's a problem. Now, this particular colleague of mine, they brought these people in. They couldn't converse with the service users. Sometimes they would have to go meet the other, permanent staff who were there to come and, should I say, be the go-between to explain what the service user needs to them. And when they are asked to also fill up incidents form or something, they couldn't do it properly. And they were like, what is going on? In fact, it came to a head one day, rather, when one of the service users became so upset that she was talking to this particular tier 2 worker, and she couldn't tell her what she wanted to know. She threw a big tantrum. And at this point, of course, permanent staff chipped in and said, okay, they cannot work with these people. And what happened? They had to move all of them to somewhere else. Now, this is risky. Because if you cannot converse with the service user, how do you read the care plan? You are told to give them sugar, you go and give them salt. It doesn't make sense. Now, having said that, let me also encourage them as well. If you don't know how to speak English very well, it is not, the end of the world. Enroll yourself in an adult school, maybe evening class or whatever, and learn how to speak English, because you are looking after people who cannot express themselves, who find it difficult to comprehend what people say to them. And they need you to understand them so that they feel like they still matter somewhat. And if you cannot do that, then it's a problem. And if you are complaining, you are one of those who are complaining that your spouse has not sent you out or given you any shift yet, ask yourself this question: how good is your spoken English? Now, another concern or hidden conversation that they have is that some of you do not have any bedside manners. To that, I also agree, because I experienced it myself. You don't have to talk to them. Your tone of voice is something else. Now, let me tell you my story. One day, I was given a manual handling training. I had a couple of tier 2 visa holders in my training session. And I was given this training. And normally what I do is that I demonstrate how you talk to them, how you encourage them and all of that. Not patronize them, no, encourage, prompt them, okay? And I use the language that is best, that is most preferred. And then it was their turn to now show me exactly what I'd shown them. So when they go on the field, I know that they have an idea of what to do and how to communicate. And so this person just was his turn or her turn. I can't remember if it was a man or a woman now. And the next thing I heard was, stand up. I was like, what? Who are you talking to? And I'm like, you don't talk to the client like that. Now, assume that was a client. What do you think will happen? A client who was verbal. What do you think will happen? They will strike back. They will say something or do something. You know? So let's learn that. Let's be courteous. It doesn't kill. Let's be kind. Let's use kind words to talk to them. All right? You must always put the please. And when they do it, you say thank you. When you come into the room, don't just come in and go busy rather with what you are doing. No. Have a conversation. Right? It's very important. Have a conversation. Say good morning. It won't kill you. It won't take the hairs off your head. Say good morning. Ask them how their night was. Don't just get in there and you are like, I see somebody is forcing you to work. Let me use that word. Nobody is forcing you to work. You decided to do the job. Okay? So please, let's take note of it. It's very important. Your bedside manners are very important. Another conversation your sponsors are having is that some of you are using children as a reason for not going to work. How do I mean? Now, some of you better come with your spouse. And I want to believe that before you came to the UK with your spouse, you must have had an arrangement. You must have had an agreement that whatever job they find has got to work around your own job. As in, when you're off, they're at work. When you're home, they're at work. If that makes any sense. Okay? Now, some have complained that when they call their carers to work, they will say to them, oh, I don't have childcare. I can't come to work. Now, so you know, if you're one of those who are doing this, I plead with you, 2024, find a solution. Because whenever you come up impromptu like that, saying that you cannot come to work because you don't have childcare, your sponsor is mandated to send an SMS to the Home Office stating that you are not at work because of your children. And also be aware that you have hours to fulfill. You have a salary threshold to make. And you're going to have that in your P6 that will come out in March next year. So if your hours are not balanced, your threshold is not what it should be, what do you think will happen to you after your 5 years? So please, if you have a spouse, sit down, agree, come to an agreement, an arrangement, please. Now, another conversation they also have is that some of you claim that you did not know the work entailed personal care. Now, the first time I heard that, I was like, what do you mean? Didn't you do your research before coming? He said, we just thought they're going to be support work. They can do what they like. I said, really? I said, listen, I have done support work where I hoisted from morning till night. Okay? There are some support work where you do whereby you do absolutely nothing. But come on, is that what you really came into this country to do? Support work where you're not doing anything. How are you going to learn? Now, I do know that some of the advertisement you see on papers and everything shows you pushing a wheelchair, you're smiling, and the client is smiling and all of that. I know that some of you have been in this job for a while. You know that it's not like that. Of course, there will be instances, scenarios where everybody's happy, jolly, jabbly and everything. But there are more scenarios whereby you are not all jolly, jabbly. Everybody is upset. I mean, the tension, the pressure is on. Okay, so please, this is what it is. Do your due diligence, understand this is what it is, and then put yourself into it and do it well. And you might be surprised, you might love the job, just like I love it. These are the conversations your sponsored employers are having. And I brought it to you not to demonize anybody, because I know some of you have been telling me that, oh, what about those who have brought you into the country for so many months and they're not paying or giving you shifts and all of that. I know. But be reminded, or should I say be mindful of the fact that where there are the good people, there are also bad people. If you have a sponsor who gives you all the shifts you need and everything, remember that those who have sponsors who do not give a toss if they have sheep or not. Let's be grateful for the good things that we have. So I have said this to you. It is now left for you to do your homework, correct your mistakes rather, and do right. So that at the end of your 5 years, that crucial letter that your sponsor needs to give to you to take to, add to your documents to send to the Home Office will be given to you, truly, where they will state that your services are still required. If that makes any sense. In the spirit of the season, I wish you all a very, very, very Merry Christmas, all right? And a prosperous 2024. And remember this, never you forget or be in doubt that no matter what the matter is, you matter so much more. Over.